Where the mining jobs are. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and today we're going to do a quick mining job hunt and talk about where the mining careers are going to be in the future. So we're going to use the keywords of underground and offsider, and most of the jobs that we're going to look at, if not all the jobs that we're going to look at, will be starting on 2 and 1, so 2 weeks on 1 week off, and on about $100,000 a year. So to start with, let's have a look at copper. And this is an article that's come up lately, or just the other day, and it's about the copper market. There's not going to be enough copper going around in 2022. And if you have a look, this is a picture of where all the copper mines are in Australia, and currently copper is just under, a bit under 14,000 Australian, so that's a lot of money for copper, and that's why everywhere's ploughing ahead, and there's lots of opportunities in New South Wales, north of Queensland, over here in WA and South Australia, as well as some down in Tasmania too. But there's lots of opportunity for that base metal. Now, if we have a look at this next article about gold, China keeps burning through its mines' gold reserves. If we go down and have a look at the chart, turns out, guess who's got the most reserves of any country in the world by a long shot? And that's us. And that's just another reason why you should be looking at those sort of metals, or gold and anything that goes into a battery, as a good mine to get into as a job moving forward, to make sure that you have a decent career. And with a gold price of well over 2,600 an ounce, you can see here that all the miners are going to be making a lot of money at that rate. So if you type underground into Seek, you'll see all the jobs come up, and you're looking for the nipper, truck and offsider jobs. And you can see there's a lot of entry level around at the moment, and it really shows how desperate they are, is that they're actually advertising for entry level jobs. Traditionally, over the course of my mining career, it doesn't happen very often. Normally they just put ads like this around asking for experienced people, and they normally get enough new starters apply for those jobs just to choose from there. So yeah, it just shows you the sign of the times and how many people they actually need. So you can see it's all over the country, and there's lots of jobs around. And if you do offsider as well, type offsider into Seek, you'll see all these jobs come up. And the majority of them start on 2 and 1, which is 2 weeks on, 1 week off, on about $100,000 a year. So most people are starting on between $400 and $450 a day, and there's lots about. Now, if you want some more information about how to get in and all that sort of stuff, then come over to the sponsor's website, and if you just hover above the new starters column, you'll see that there's all this information down here that you can go through and have a look. There's a mining career checklist, talks about autonomous mining, pay rates and rosters, green. It also goes into your resume and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of interesting information on there that you can have a look at. Now, the other thing that the sponsor does is that they've got training that you can do that creates a pathway into the industry. Lots of people do it. You can do it yourself, or if you want some help, there's the win-win package. They'll help you redo your resume and interview prep for you and get you going that way. So a lot of people are still hung up about looking for a job in iron ore or coal. I always try and point them back to this article here that was only a couple of months old, and it's all about how Rio wants to turn 80% of their trucking fleet autonomous by the end of this year, and that just goes to show you what the employers are doing. So when I do these videos about trying to get into the mining industry, I'm trying to steer people in the direction where you're going to have a career for more than 2 or 3 years, because some of these jobs that people are jumping into in iron ore and coal, there isn't a lot of longevity in them, unfortunately. Whereas with the hard rock underground and the surface exploration, there's lots of work going around, and there's going to be steady work going into the future. This next boom that we're going into, or this next boom that we're in at the moment, it's all about batteries and gold. All the metals that you've got to put into the batteries, so your copper, your zinc, your nickel, your lithium, all those things that go into making a battery, they're all in high demand. And the other thing that's in high demand, everything that goes into making an electric car. So again, a lot of those metals are doubled up again. And that's why there's a real big, push on to find more copper around the place. The nickel mines, nickel prices spiked. If we have a look at this Oz Minerals mine that they're about to try and ramp up in the next 12 months or so, and you can see that they've got environmental approval for it finally, and it's going to have 26 years mine life, and they expect to do 26,000 tonnes for the nickel per year and 32,000 tonnes of the copper per year. Now, at the current prices in Australian dollars, that's a 1.2 to 1.3 billion dollar turnover for one mine. And that just goes to show you how important all the metals are to the green tech moving forward, and that's where the long-term jobs are going to be, because these prices aren't going to slow down. Everybody wants electric cars. Everybody wants batteries to power everything and to store from the wind power and solar and all that sort of stuff. There's just not enough out of the ground at the moment for them to make everything, so prices are going up, and that's where you want to be. It is what it is. If you want a good long-term career that's going to last 10, 15, 20 years, then I really don't see how you could go past jumping into a hard rock base metal mine or gold mine, because that's where the future's going to be. Coal, unfortunately, I don't agree with what they're doing with coal, but it is what it is. And if you get on at a coal mine, the best that you could probably hope for in 5 years' time is still working on that same coal mine, maybe a position or two higher than where you are. Whereas if you jump into a hard rock underground mining job in 5 years' time, you could be working overseas, you could be doing anything. There's just so much more scope and so much more opportunity. So I hope you find that information helpful, and if you've got any more questions about the industry, please send them through. If you could like and subscribe the channel, that would be wonderful, and share this information about. And don't forget to check out the sponsors page. It's got a lot of good information on it that you'll be able to find and go through for the new starters. Have a read. There's a lot of videos in there, and I hope it helps people come to a good decision. So thank you.